Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. I thought I would collate some trials by fire, where I play an instrument for the first time in real life, into one video, because I have a few of them, and they don't all need their own video. Let's talk about them. First off, that was my 36B with the gold brass tuning slide. I've played this before. It doesn't need to be talked about here. I'm playing it later this week, so I'm just practicing it, and it feels awesome after some practice. First up, we'll talk about my 3BF. One of my latest acquisitions, and technically it's not even the latest 3BF that I've gotten. Let's make this clear. I have three 3BFs. One I've had for a very long time. I got it for very cheap because the guy was like, oh yeah, it's totally trashed. It's for sale for parts, basically. It ended up being very good. Even the slide, which was like completely trashed when I got it, I had it worked on, and it ended up being one of my slides with my best action. For so long, I used that for literally like 3 or 4 years, as is. I eventually was like, you know what, this slide doesn't play as well as some other 3B slides. I got a different slide, I sold the other one, and I used that horn for another long time, along with some other instruments. I have way too many instruments that are yellow brass bell, 8 inches, medium or small bore with F attachment. I have like 7 of these right now. So I had that horn for a long time. And then recently I bought another one. It looked like be in pretty good shape. It was for like a pretty good price. I was like, you know what? Maybe there are better 3BFs out there. I wouldn't mind having one that's just like a little bit better. And I got it, and it was totally trashed. The bell section was bent at like a 30-degree angle, and the slide was 100% trashed, like not fixable trashed. So that's my second 3BF. I had that fixed up. The guy was just like, yeah, the slide never coming back. And then I got this one in trade for another instrument, similar age to the second 3BF we're just talking about. And this one also like in okay shape. It's not like beautiful or anything, but it had one major problem, and that is that this joint right here to the valve was not soldered. It was just loose. And I was like, well, no wonder the last guy didn't like it. It's not even put together. And while my tech was putting it together, he found out that this joint on the other side of the ferrule coming out of the valve was also not soldered from the factory. There was no solder in that. So this was loose in 2 spots right next to the valve. No wonder it was like not enjoyed by previous people. And so like the main bell brace has to come off. All this stuff got soldered back together. Now it's in great shape. This is the slide that came with it. And this horn is totally fine. What's interesting is that the second horn, the one that was totally trashed, it had totally bent bell section. The slide was just so bad. That ended up with my slide for my first horn being the best 3BF I've ever played by like leaps and leaps and leaps. This horn is pretty good. I like this. It plays well. I like got it fixed, put together, and I was like, ooh, maybe this is my new 3BF. And then I got that second one after getting it fixed, tried all my slides on it, and I was like, what is happening? It's like 5 times louder. The high range is super open with very defined slots. Just like everything you want about a trombone was perfectly good in that instrument. After being bent 30 degrees, and it's got a slide from just some random other 3B, who knows. It is so good. So extremely happy with how that worked out. I still have 2 3BFs. My other one's still in case for sale. This one is totally good. It's not like beautiful or anything. It's definitely been used, but it's in 100% usable condition. I'll be selling this. And the other one is a working bell section with a non-working slide. So the slide is just for parts. If you don't want it, I'll just like trash it. But I'll be selling both of those because I do not need 3 King 3BFs, along with 36B, 78H Special, and a Yamaha 852, all of which I still own. I have way too many of these things. I think that's it though, right? That's all of them? Anyway, 3BF, extremely happy with it. I have no reason to kind of even look for anything else. I have a hard time thinking I'd find something better. I almost bought a Wrath R1, I can never remember the numbers and what sizes they are, with an F attachment. That'd be probably very cool, but maybe a little small. Those are 500 bore with a 7.5-inch bell, I believe. and a little bit too fancy. Like that's way too much instrument for my job. So happy to have like another Beater 3BF that is like world beating, so good. That's a great trial by fire. I'm very happy about that. I finally played Mr. Chungus, the double valve tenor, the 42T2 as I'm calling it, because it's got a Thayer valve and it is 2 valves dependent, 42T2. Of course the second valve is not a Thayer valve, but we'll just leave that out. With my new slide. So this is a 42 slide with an MK Drawing 605 crook, which is 5 thousandths larger than a normal Bach bass crook. They vary, so it could be the same, honestly. This also has removable lead pipes, and I have a Minnick Open from Canstool in it, which just matches weirdly well. I really like playing this horn at home. It is very even and very like rewarding to play well. It's really cool to have an instrument with the tenor qualities of this, of a 42, and also it's chromatic. I can play it everywhere. I love being able to play low B, low C. It's just one of those things. I play bass trombone, so I love being able to fill out my entire range. And this has all the characteristics of a very good 42T, which it already was, and I can play it chromatically. And it's nice. Is it really useful in real life? Maybe not. So I played this in quartets and I just used it on tenor parts, and therefore that second valve never got pressed. I really enjoyed it. It is definitely not an instrument I would use for like principal trombone. It doesn't quite have like the zing, that like super high overtone color that like a good principal trombone would have. But playing lower parts, it fits in so well. It's so easy to blend with and fill out a part and make a lot of noise without overbearing anybody else. I'm really happy with this. If this doesn't leave my house that often, I'm honestly not that mad about it. Every time I'm kind of like stuck at home and I don't really know what to play, I usually get this out because I can play any music on it, and it's really rewarding to play. I'm currently using, for all you nerds, my Greg Black 3G 5GD L, so lightweight, 277, number 1. A lot of different specs to basically end up like a Bach 3G. And in this horn, it works. Low range is really good. Mid range is good. High range, it's a me problem. I don't think that's an instrument problem. I think the only biggest issue is that it might be a little too long. Tuning slide all the way in, and I am like just barely up to pitch and with no room for error in air-conditioned spaces. So that might be a problem later. It's a little better with a normal 42 slide because it doesn't have this extra length. But again, I'm happy with that. I kind of knew how it was going to end up, and I was right. I think this is last up on this list. I don't even know what to call this. This is medium bass project, Sterling Silver King. Anyway, this is my LT50 slide with my O'Malley 50 lead pipe, with my Bosk valve section, with my King 1485 Silversonic bell. First thing, this looks really cool, especially when you're outside in the sun. The silver pops in a way that like silver plate doesn't, because this is it's silver, baby, against the unlacquered body of the trombone. It just looks so cool. It's got most of the gold wash inside the bell as well. This is a weird instrument to play because it's a little towards the bass side, but it's just in between bass and tenor. It just like does not feel fully like bass trombone, does not feel fully like tenor. And I've talked about this with the 45 as well, which is a little more towards the tenor side. It's just very strange to kind of put yourself in that soundscape of in the middle. I had to size down mouthpieces. I used my Lasky 85, which I don't normally play, but with this, makes the intonation a little more predictable, makes the blow just a little more even. Something smaller would probably be even better, but I personally can't do that. Yeah, it's actually, once you figure out that blow, which is again a little more towards tenor and not super wide, slow air like bass, it rips. It's great. Even there, I was using just a little bit too wide of air, and the pedal F did not want to respond right away. I really have to think smaller, a little bit faster. I really enjoy that. On camera, it might sound like insanely bright. I can't really tell what this is going to pick up. And it is, it's bright. It's got a lot of high overtones, but especially behind the bell, I can't tell about in front of the bell. It has a lot of resonance and weight as well, something tenor trombone doesn't have. My 42 T2 sounds really good in the low register. It does not have that wide bass like feel to it. It's got sound, but does not have the feel that you get with bass. And this bell just gives that off in waves. It's very dense, but still has like this like presence to it. It's super cool. I don't think I'm going to use it all the time at work, which is where I tried it the first time a couple days ago. It's like good in almost every single way, but it does take a lot of like finagling to kind of get used to. Third partial is especially strange. Wants to sit just a tiny bit low. It's not enough of a problem to be out of tune, but you cannot just like bull in a china shop, play an F, it's not going to work. And if you miss a little bit, it's going to get fuzzy. It's going to kind of miss the partial. It's kind of undefined slot right there. Again, that's better with a tenor mouthpiece with a tenor slide because it's kind of how this is meant to be played. I don't really care. I want to use it like a bass, and I had a lot of fun. Again, the sound was nearly perfect for that job. The other downside is it's heavy, but in a weird way. The valve section itself, I think, is a very like medium weight valve section. I don't think it's that heavy. So a lot of the weight is in the bell. You know, it's solid sterling silver. It's pretty chunky, and so there's a lot of weight all the way from here to the end. It's not like a screw bell where there's just a lot of weight right here. It's the whole thing, and so it's just a little heavy. It's not unbalanced. Again, like most screw bells or like really big bass trombones. But due to that weight, I found myself like having trouble keeping the mouthpiece in just the right spot on my face when I'm moving around outside. A wider bass trombone with a lot of these features would be perfect. This just not quite there. If more of the weight was like concentrated in here, that actually becomes less of an issue. It's the fact that it's like all the way out here. It's not something I usually notice, but on this instrument, I did notice it. I also used this in quartets yesterday. It's a little bright, it's a little small, but it still sounded really good. Again, just weird to play, had to really put my mindset into trying to play this instrument, not normal bass trombone. I'm super happy with it. I want to use this in the 45 a little more and just kind of get to know them better. We'll see if that happens. There's not a lot of chances to use instruments like this, but very excited. This just is super cool. And yes, in a big band, it would be really cool. The big band that I am personally in doesn't play like normal big band charts, and so this would not be quite the right setup. I might try it anyway in a upcoming rehearsal, but I usually just use my M&W Bach 50. with this slide. So we'll see. I'll get more use in the future. That's a few horns, a lot of talking about them. I like to talk things. And I'll see you all next video. Bye-bye.